Now, that was a look at your very first video off your very first album called Complicated, which, by the way, I'm so excited to say that she's going to do live for us later on this hour. But right now, how about we go back to the beginning, which wasn't too long ago for you. But you said that your mom knew you were going to be a singer when you were just 2 years old. When did you know?
I just knew that that was what I wanted, and I loved singing. I loved being in front of people and performing just since I was like really young.
What types of performance would you do?
The first thing I did, like my mom, you know, pushed, like we went to church and she pushed the girl in church, please let her sing, she can sing. Finally I got to sing at a Christmas concert, and then everyone was like, oh my God, she can sing. And then they had me singing at all the cantatas at the church for Christmas and stuff, and then people around town would like have me sing at the banquets and fairs and like little festivals they would do.
Did you ever get paid when you were doing that?
I got paid a little bit, a lot of
good.
it, or I did like a contest at a fair. And this is all when I'm like 10, like I'm a kid, you know,
Yeah.
so my parents are like picking my songs for me and like telling me how to dress. And like my mom would be like, wear this dress, and I'd be like, no, I don't want to wear a dress. And anyway.
But you did create your own style,
Yeah,
though. Obviously, that came from somewhere.
By the time when I turned 14, I then started writing, wrote my whole song by myself when I was 14, and before that I was always like, I knew the chord G on the guitar and I would just sing lines and I'd write little lines. But 14 I wrote a whole song.
What was that? Has that song shown up in any albums yet?
No. And 15 was when I was 15 I went to New York. And
wait, you're going past something though. You were on stage with Shania Twain.
When I was
singing.
14, there was also a contest at a radio station to sing with Shania Twain. I submitted a tape. I won. I went on stage at the Corral Center in Ottawa, which is this big arena. 20,000 people, I think, sang the song, and then I went back to school.
How was that for you? Was that your first really big?
I was in grade 9, so I was in high school. I went back to school, and I was like, everyone was like, that's like the most popular.
All of a sudden, everyone wanted to be your friend.
And I remember people being like, yeah, Avril's my best friend, and stuff like that. I'd be like, no.
Get out!
It was funny. So in my town, everyone knew me as the singer girl, and I took a trip to New York to work with a producer, Peter Zizzo, who had seen a videotape of me singing in my basement. And when I came to New York for the weekend, my parents were with me. L.A. Reid stopped by the studio. It was like, it wasn't planned. He just heard that I was there. Came to the studio, and they're like, sing for him. And I'm like, okay. And then I just sang for him. He
just
was
turn
like,
her on and let her go.
Yeah, I was 15.
Wow.
And he was like, oh my God, like you have a really good voice and you're 15. He's like, you have one of the best voices I've heard. And he was like, I'm signing you. So like that, I sang for him, and that day he's like, that's it, I'm giving you a record deal. And I was like, 15, I'm like, what's a record deal? What is
so you didn't really
I didn't know anything. I didn't know what a publishing deal was, or all I knew was, okay, this is really cool. I'm going to make a record. So I moved to New York, left high school, and
what was that like leaving high school? Were you even concerned at all? Were your friends so jealous that you didn't have to go back to school?
I remember talking to my friends on the phone, and they're like getting ready for exams, and I'm like,
I'm time to sing now. Have fun studying.
Yeah, I was supposed to do homeschooling. I had books, but I didn't do it. So basically, I'm a high school dropout.
Well, you know, it's interesting, though, because even though you're a high school dropout, obviously you're a consummate professional, you're incredibly talented, but you're also very street smart. You're smart in the decisions that you make. Where do you attribute your strong sense of self and knowing to make the right decisions? Do you have a really good support system around you?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just very confident, and I've always been. And I know what I want, and I know what I don't want. And I'm very motivated, and I'm very driven, and I see a big picture, you know, like I set high goals, and I've always kind of been like that. My mom said when I was 14, like I was ready to leave the house. I was so independent. And yeah, so basically I got signed. I was like 15, 16, started working on my record, and then
cut to 2002, your record, your first one ever, shoots through the stratosphere.
And that's like really lucky, because some people, it can take a couple records It was like my first record, and I had my own sound and style, and I was different from everything and everyone out there. And Complicated blew up, and then Skater Boy, and I'm With You, and my record sold 15 million records, which is really spectacular, and I feel so lucky, and it's been awesome.
How did your life change when all that happened?
Basically, my life changed in the sense that I'm so busy, and now I live in LA, and everything's just, I do a lot. It's pretty full on, and I mean, the cool thing is, you know, I've grown up really quickly, and I grew up quite quickly, you know, being 17 and thrown into all that, and it caused me to learn a lot. And like you said, I am definitely more street smart than book smart.
I'm with you. Life experiences can teach you quite a bit, especially if you're open to them. Do you believe it's true that what you put out there comes back to you?
Absolutely.
So obviously you've been doing this your whole life. You've already figured out your destiny. I mean, you know where you're going, and I just think that is just so wonderful. I can't wait to learn more about Avril Lavigne when Private Sessions continues, including, by the way, a performance of Skater Boy and the new hit, When You're Gone. So please stay with us.
He was a skater boy, she said, see you later.